Hi! Welcome to Introduction to Hindi. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Venus.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of Hindi writing.
To begin with, Hindi is written in Devanagari script.
Is it written from right to left or left to right?
Hindi is written from left to right, just like English. There is another interesting thing about Hindi, which is different from English.
What is that?
Hindi is a phonetic language. This means that it is written as it is spoken. In English, some of the spellings can be quite confusing for a learner. For example, the sound of the letter C in city is the same as the sound of the letter S in sit. At the same time, the sound of the letter C in city is different from the sound of the letter C in cup.
For someone who knows English, this isn't a difficult thing. But if you're learning the language, this can be confusing indeed while reading and writing.
But in Hindi, you don't have to worry about these things. If the sound is ka, you write k. If the sound is ku, you write ku.
This makes it quite easy to learn the script, doesn't it?
Yes, once you know the consonant and vowels, you can easily begin to read the script.
What about the punctuation marks? Are they different from English?
In Hindi, we use the same punctuation marks as in English. This means you use the same commas and question marks, so nothing to worry about. However, the Hindi full stop is different from the English full stop.
Really? How do we make the Hindi full stop?
It appears like a vertical or standing line at the end of the sentence and is called a Purna Viram. Take this sentence, for example, written in Hindi script, मैं ठीक हूँ. Notice the vertical line at the end of the sentence. This is the Hindi full stop.
This one seems quite easy to make too.
Yes, indeed.
So, how about we go on to how the Hindi alphabets are written? In a previous lesson, we learned that Hindi has 33 consonants and 11 vowels.
You are absolutely correct. And we also learned most of the consonants during our pronunciation lesson.
How about we take a quick look at them and then go on to see how vowels modify the sounds of these consonants?
Sure. Here they are. K, K, G, Gh, N, Ch, Ch, J, Jh, N, T, Th, D, D, N, T, Th, D, Th, N, P, P, B, B, M, Y, R, L, V, Sh, Ksh, S, H.
Okay, great. The best way to learn the script is to practice reading and writing it as much as you can.
Yes, indeed.
So, how do vowels generally appear in Hindi script?
Let's start with how they are written individually. Here they are. A, I, U, U, E, O, Ri.
How do they appear when they're attached to a consonant?
Let's take a few words that use these vowels in the form of matras. Work, calm. See the vertical line between the letters K and M. This is the vowel A and is called A ki matra or matra of A. Whenever you notice this vertical line added to a consonant, you add the vowel A to that consonant. So, K becomes Ka. Let's try another. How much? Kitna? See this matra on the letter K? That is called choti e ki matra or E or matra of the small E. Whenever you see this matra on a consonant, add the vowel sound to the consonant and say it. So, K becomes Ki. Let's look at another word. Cat, Billy. See this matra on the letter L? This is called the badi E ki matra or E or matra of the big E. Here, L becomes li. Here's another word. Dog. Kutta. Notice this matra on the letter K. This is the choti U ki matra or U or matra of the small U. This matra makes K, ku. Let's now look at shoe, juta. This matra below the letter J is the badi U ki matra or U or matra of the big U. This matra makes J, ju. Now let's take apple, seb. The matra above the letter S is called the choti a ki matra or a or matra of the small a. This matra changes S to se. Let's now take the word for money. Money, paisa. The matra above the letter P is called the badi a ki matra or a or matra of the big A. This changes P to pa. Now let's take a look at O and Au. Gold, sona. The matra on the letter S is called the chote O ki matra or O or matra of the small O. This matra changes S to so. Who, corn. The matra on the letter K is called the badi U ki matra or O or matra of the big O. This matra modifies the sound of K to ko. The vowel ri appears slightly differently. Let's take a word we learnt in the first lesson. Please, kripya. This matra below the letter K is called the ri ki matra or the matra of ri.
What else is there that we should know about the Hindi script?
There are two more things you will often notice in the Hindi script, and that's called the Anuswar and the Chandra Bindu.
What does that look like?
The Anuswar appears as a dot and the Chandra Bindu is the moon dot. Notice the small dot along with the vowel a in ma or I. This is the Anuswar, and when it occurs at the end of the word, it nasalizes the vowel. When the dot appears before a letter in the middle of the word, it nasalizes the sound of that consonant. Let's check out the word for color, rang. Here the Anuswar makes it sound like the ng in the English word song. The Chandra Bindu is no different than the Anuswar, and it works very similarly to it by nasalizing the vowel above which it is placed. For example, clocks, ghadiyan. Here the Chandra Bindu can be seen above the last vowel a.
In this lesson, we learned how the Hindi full stop appears, and we also came to know that Hindi is a phonetic language and is spoken exactly as it's written. That makes things quite easy. We also learned how the consonants look and how the vowels look individually when they're attached to a consonant, and how their nasalized versions appear in written Hindi. We just learned the basics of Hindi writing. In the next lesson, we'll teach you some basic phrases in Hindi. See you in the next lesson. Bye!
Dhanyawad and namaste.